building a business requires a certain level of clarity, of vision. You wouldn't build a house without an architect creating a plan, and as a baker, you wouldn't start a recipe or bake something without a recipe. And there comes a point in the process of building the business, building your project, starting a bakery, where you have to reach a certain level of decisiveness, because the process itself will start to require answers to questions that will challenge your mission, will challenge the model that you've chosen, challenge the process. And if you don't have a clear understanding of where you're going, why you're doing this, who you're doing it for, what your financial projections are, it's going to become confusing very quickly. And as someone who has started multiple businesses, and they've all kind of revolved around, they started mostly as through the wellness sphere. Previous to right now, I'm Kai. I'm in the process of starting a business, turning a personal brand into a professional bakery. But previous to this, I've been a massage therapist for about 8 years. And in all the brands I've started before and all of the ideas I've had, they've all kind of revolved around faith, business, wellness, and baking. And in times past, I've tried to squish all of that into each brand, which I think I did, but with Crumbfort, because it is a bakery, because it is truly a lifelong dream in the making, because I've loved baking for so long, it adds this level of pressure to it. And I very much want this one to succeed. I very much want to show myself, show God, be that I am capable, that I'm using the gifts that He's given me wisely, that I am a good steward of my capabilities and His ideas, and I want to help my family financially. I want to enjoy the expression of creativity and passion that baking affords. And I am in the process now of starting it. I already have the foundational part of the foundational paperwork. I am in the part where I have to find a commercial kitchen, because I've chosen to do a food processor's license instead of a cottage food law bakery working out of your home, for very specific reasons, which I should go into more detail about later. But right now, because I am having to answer questions that I had thought I had previously outlined, and believe me, I have entire notebooks full of ideas and like plans and marketing plans and all the things, but I'm reaching the point in the business that I have reached in every other business before me, which is making me question everything. And perhaps it is a speckle of perfectionism being sprinkled in there, where I want this to be perfect for so badly for so many reasons that I'm overthinking it. However, I think if your foundation isn't set properly, it will become very clear quickly, because the problems that you are going to encounter as a business owner will show all of the holes in your plan. And that is a natural part of the process and a helpful part of the process, because it allows you to pause and go back to the drawing board and make sure that you are very clear on where you're going, how you're doing it, and that, all of that. And that's not to say that you can't pivot mid-journey. That is also an integral part of entrepreneurship, the ability to change and adapt and grow as things evolve. And so that's what I'm doing today. So I've got my Bible. I've got all three of Alex Hormozi's books, because I love the Hormozi couple. They've done great things in the business world. I'm going to be watching creators like Myron Golden, Danielle Piulu. I'm sorry, pronunciation. Nakia. on YouTube. I love those creators. They are biblically based entrepreneurs, and it is very important to me as I build Crumbfort that the business be founded in faith, that God is a part of every single step, because I believe that is the key point to making any business successful, any life, any relationship, anything successful is enhanced when you include God into it. And just generally, starting a business, entrepreneurship in general, doesn't matter what it is going to reveal parts of yourself that you had not otherwise recognized. It's going to challenge your personality. It's going to challenge your fears, your faults, your worries. It's going to reveal everything about how you process life and how you adapt to challenges. And sometimes that's ugly to see in the mirror, to see how you are not responding to things the way you would want yourself to, because it is such a challenging endeavor to build something, to show it to the world, to hope and put your hopes and dreams into something and have the world tell you one way or another whether they like it or not. That's whether it's a cookie or something bigger. It's you being vulnerable, and that's a difficult thing to do. But when you add on to that the financial strain, the emotional strain, the mental toll, the physical toll, all of those things become very clear that starting a business is a challenge. But if you go into it with the mindset of, this is going to challenge me, you are less surprised when it does. And that helps you navigate the emotional roller coaster of making these decisions and clarifying your vision. So today that's what I'm doing, because while I had everything figured out, I know myself, and I refuse to allow the problem or the issues of the past in past brands to dictate the possibilities of my future. Instead, I will take the lessons I learned from previous businesses and put it into Crumbfort, because this feels like the culmination of everything I have wanted. And while I'm going to be selling cookies and maybe cakes and little things, I'm selling baked goods, but those are really a vehicle for something else. They are the physical product, but the mission is bigger than that, especially because I include God into this. And I want any brand should be an experience. You are, through your website copy, through your social medias, the actual brand itself, the products you're making, the services, how you're interacting with the public, every component of your business is an expression of that business. It is creating the experience of the brand. And so while Crumbfort cookies will be like the main piece that you get, it is not the whole. The cookies are the vehicle. And I want people to have a deep feeling when they have an experience with Crumbfort, and a meaningful one, not just a delicious one, which that is important and will be happening too. And so today we are figuring that out. So this is what my outline is going to be like. I've gotten all my household things done yesterday. I deep cleaned the crap out of my house. All the animals are taken care of for the most part. And today I don't have anywhere I need to be except here. So I will be starting my morning, and already kind of started with journaling, writing out all of my frustrations, all of the scattered thoughts, and just kind of organized in my brain what is going on in my head right now. Because as a founder, your business starts and stops with you, especially a solo founder. It's just me opening this bakery. My husband, I'm sure, will become a loyal, unpaid slave for future things and toting around heavy stuff. And he is such a sweet, sweet man and has been so supportive in all of this. All my family has, really. So I know I have their support, but as the founder, it comes down to me. So outlined thoughts. Up next, I will crack open my Bible. I have a particular devotional that I'm going through right now, so I'll do that. And then I'm just going to sit with God. We can call it a business meeting. I'm going to have a business meeting with God. We are going to sit down and outline all of the problems. I'm going to present all of my problems to God and be like, all right, how do we fix this? What do your words say? And there's a lot of knowledge in here. There's a lot of helpful business related knowledge that you can take from the Bible, as you know, other entrepreneurs and other creators have talked about. And so I'm going to be doing a deep dive into this. A lot of prayer, a lot of quiet time to just listen and absorb what God is trying to tell me. And this doesn't mean that all of this is true clarity is going to happen just today and this is the only day that this is going to happen. I'm imagining it's going to be an ongoing process. Considering I've already laid out the plan, this is just me questioning the plan now. And so, but this is the starting point to fixing that problem and overcoming it and finding the root cause of it so that the brand can move forward in peace. Then, after Bible things, Hormozy's books. I have all three. I've read them all already. I've made notes already, but those were for different brands, not Crumbfort. So I'm going to be going back through his books, my notes, and skimming mostly, and writing my own notes again as to the mechanics of the business, the marketing plan, all of the things, because it is very important to have a clear idea of where this is going, especially financially. You want to know where your money is supposed to be supporting when you don't have a whole lot of it to go around. So the marketing plan, how I'm selling this, XYZ, Hormozy. From there, I will probably listen to a video of those creators that I mentioned before and kind of just throughout the day glean their wisdom. I've been listening to all those guys for months now, and we're gonna figure this out. So welcome to Crumbfort. I am building a bakery in Washington State. Grant County is the founding location. And specifically, where? I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. And I think this is the root cause of it. Because I've been interviewing commercial kitchens, they're asking me questions as to how much time are you going to be in the kitchen, and figuring out pricing of, the hours there. Are people coming to pick up your boxes of goodies and all these like specific questions I have answers to, but I'm now feeling like it's not solid enough. And that's why we are doing a business reset, a foundational overhaul. And frankly, I thrive on this. I love the admin side of business. I love the research. I love the planning phase. I love the ideation and creation of turning papers and paperwork and ideas into a full-fledged business that can support a family. And that is such a beautiful thing. I believe entrepreneurship is biblical, and I am excited to see where Crumbfort can grow, which is why I'm documenting this online. And as it has taken me a while to overcome the cringe aspect through TikTok and now Instagram, I think YouTube is going to be a more helpful format for me, to be able to look back on this, see what my thought process was, see what errors of judgment I have made, and perhaps be helpful to someone else who is also interested in starting a bakery and starting a business. This will be bakery focused, but there will be business components to it, of course. Because as I have come from the wellness world, I know the importance of taking care of your well-being, of your mental and physical, spiritual health, They're all interconnected. Keeping stress down as much as possible when starting business is so important for so many different reasons. And so I will be building this business not just through biblical faith, but through a wellness mindset, a sustainability mindset, that anything I do with this business, with this brand, Crumbfort is going to grow through faith. It is going to grow through an expression of the importance of taking care of yourself as an entrepreneur, as someone who was, a customer, that self-care is important. It takes many forms. It is valuable. And I define it really as self-investment. And so as an entrepreneur building this business, I'm going to be mindful of my mental state, my physical state, my spiritual state, because without an emphasis on those things, if I don't keep those in my mind, I'm going to railroad myself with my desire to succeed, with my intent of building this as, successfully as I possibly can, which could come at the cost of my own health. And I don't want that, because I want this to be a long-term thing. The business of my life, the thing that I can pour all of my creativity and ideas and joy into. Because while I have explained that this has already been a not stressful, but I'm running into challenges mentally more so than anything. This process of building it has been about a month or so that I've started this, and I've done it with so much joy. Every day I wake up and I'm thinking how grateful I am to start this business, how wonderful it is to have the ability to use the tools around me, have resources at my disposal to create something that has the potential to help people, help my family, and just be a support in the community. I am so grateful. I am so excited. I love Crumbfort. I love the idea of it. I love that it's a pun. There's just so much about this that I am so excited about, and I don't want to paint the picture as though entrepreneurship is just doom and gloom. If you're building something you believe in, it's always going to be fun. And frankly, if you don't build it with fun, I don't believe that's sustainable, because when you run into blocks like this, you need to have something in your back pocket, something in your mindset that helps you stay focused on the idea that this is fun. As even when there are real life factors relying on the success of your business, you got to make it fun. Otherwise, it's not going to be something that you want to stick to. It's not going to be something that is going to fulfill you mentally, because stress will wear you down. And if you instead replace the stress of uncertainty in your business with the joy of creativity and how fun can I make this? Can I see the gratitude in every step of the process, even the challenges? What are the challenges trying to teach me? What am I supposed to be learning from this roadblock? Is this God helping me pivot from a closed door to an open window? Build with hope, build with excitement, build with joy, and that's what I'm doing. Even in the difficult moments, even in the times where I recognize the challenge, I'm so freaking excited that it doesn't faze me as much, even when I know there's work to be done, and which is what we're doing today. So, and I know easier said than done when you are the first month into starting a business to hold on to that joy. But remember, I've started multiple businesses before. I've been a solopreneur. I've worked with others. I've worked under others. I have started multiple brands that by all accounts in society would say they have failed. Probably my own, if I didn't have the mindset of I tried. And sometimes that's enough. And the lessons I've learned from those failures have the ability to be seeds that I can plant into Crumbfort to help this brand move forward in a way that the others did not. And so, welcome. Let's do this.